Hello, and welcome to Popcorn News. Something to watch while you eat popcorn. In the previous Popcorn News, Pondering Gravity, the similarity between electro-magnetism and the so-called force of gravity was reported. What is this gravity? Have you ever wondered about that? An amazing theory that the gravity force was leaking in from an 11th dimension. An event that would shake the foundations of physics may well be imminent. The remarkable fact about Formula One is its identity with the form of the law of gravitation. Were gravity and electromagnetism basically the same thing? That gravity and electromagnetism were basically the same thing. We are constantly indoctrinated about the so-called gravity. One video found on YouTube calls this Einstein science, spelling the last word as Psyence.
As supposedly gravitational waves were detected 1 billion years ago, 1 billion light years away. The propaganda machine and media matrix in full force as they flooded the headlines with this so-called announcement.
After decades searching, finally, gravitational waves.
It's being called the breakthrough of the century. Today, scientists confirm that gravitational waves do exist.
Einstein predicted them, and he's right about everything. Einstein predicted them, and he's right about everything. Einstein predicted them, and he's right about everything.
Oh my galaxy, we found gravitational waves! Wow, just wow, guys, so much incredible science happening right now in our lifetime. Einstein would be so proud.
What we are witnessing here is the continued perpetuation of a paradigm that the power structure will do whatever in their power to maintain and reinforce. After all, it benefits them and only them. The bottom line truth is we are not taught real science in our education system, which is in line with organizations such as NASA, which is why they ram Einstein and his theories down our throats and portray him as our scientific god, while at the same time completely ignoring Nikola Tesla. Today, everything is based on unprovable theory, based on unprovable theory, based on CGI animations, based on hearsay, based on theory.
It is like the psi, PSI, the psi powers of telepathy and telekinesis. It is the science. Around 1750, Benjamin Franklin flew a kite during a thunderstorm to test if electricity and lightning were the same. In Joseph Priestley's account, published 15 years afterwards, he called it the greatest discovery, perhaps since the time of Sir Isaac Newton. So, roughly speaking, the year 1750 marks the beginning of familiarity with electromagnetism. But Isaac Newton, who marks the beginning of the law of universal gravitation, missed the kite experiment. Newton died in 1727, about 23 years before Ben Franklin flew his famous kite. This means that Isaac Newton, pondering gravity, did not possess the concept of electromagnetism to include in his considerations. This is summarized in an old book, The Influence of the Blue Ray of the Sunlight, by former Union Army General A.J. Pleasanton, published in 1876. It is this force of magnetism of which Newton in his day had some slight knowledge, but not comprehending it as it exists, he assigned such of its qualities as he had discovered erroneously to matter, and gave it the name of gravitation, as if a planet, if such could be made of cotton, rice, tobacco, butter, cheese, and molasses, would revolve upon its axis from its own weight and travel in an orbit around the sun. What are the so-called flying saucers? A secret physics miles ahead of the Mickey Mouse physics with which we are indoctrinated is practiced at places like Area 51. There, the truth about the so-called force of gravity has been long since known.
The work that Hutchins has been doing, he has Tesla coils, he has Van de Graaff, and he has, very frankly, static electricity generators. Notice that data doesn't have to make sense.
Right.
Data just has to be truthful.
The truth.
That's right.
It's more important than proving Einstein right or wrong.
Okay, now his data showed everything from a chocolate milkshake snaking toward the top of his room, to bowling balls floating in the air. To I have all his data, and I've been following it. I am a senior scientist from Lockheed Martin. I have been a senior research engineer for Howard Hughes, Texas Instruments. There have been significant developments, and many times the things that we look at and call UFOs are really some of the developments that we've been involved with.
So are these some of the UFOs we're seeing, you believe, are ours? They're United States military?
Well, Area 51 is literally where the majority of the things that we call the black program were developed, and many times sightings would occur directly associated with them.